I want to talk about this word, alcoholic. We think we know what it means because it's a term that is thrown around a lot in movies, in the media, in the recovery world. And I think that a lot of us have a caricature that pops into our heads when we hear this term alcoholic. We think of the drunk in the gutter with the brown bag. We think of the barfly that's been sitting at the bar drinking all day with the red nose and the glassy eyes. Or we think of that relative that drinks too much at every family function and makes a fool of themselves. We think of the lampshade on the head. So there's a lot of images that come into mind when we hear that term alcoholic. So I bring this up because my story has alcohol in it. Alcohol took a starring role in much of my life, and I drank a lot of it for a very long time. I don't drink it anymore. And when I tell people my story, when it comes up either maybe at a speaking engagement or when I'm talking about my book, which kind of tells my transformation story, and I bring up alcohol or I bring up drinking and that I drank a lot and I don't anymore, people oftentimes they want to put that word on me. Oh, were you an alcoholic? Or, oh, yeah, my sister's cousin's ex-husband was an alcoholic. And theirs was a time in my life where I willingly accepted that label. It never really felt good, but when people would apply it to me, or even I would apply it to myself, this term alcoholic, I felt like at least it gave me some kind of identity. I could label whatever it was that I was doing by drinking a lot. Oh man, maybe I was an alcoholic. And in fact, it was a question that I Googled for years. And when you Google that, like hoping that somehow the internet would give me the answer of whether or not I had a problem and whether or not I should take an honest look at how much wine I was drinking. So I would Google, am I an alcoholic? And what it gave me was a lot. Sometimes there was quizzes, sometimes there was definitions. And what it did was it left a big space for me to say, well, I might kind of fit with this, but I don't really fit with this. So I didn't want to think that I had a problem. So I could just say, well, I guess I'm fine. But so using these terms, it enables our society to put like some kind of line in the sand or a category around people that have a problem. And then everybody else, the people that are normal, the people that can consume alcohol without having a problem. And when you put that definitive line there, it kind of prevents people in this normal category from feeling like they could ever cross over into this place where alcohol is causing a problem in their life. And for me, and I think a lot of people, having that definitive line prevents us from ever really taking a good, honest look at our relationship with drinking. Having a glass of wine every now and then may not be causing you a problem, but thinking that there's some kind of denotation of when you cross over into normal drinker versus alcoholic enables you to say, well, I never really, I'm not an alcoholic, so I must not have a problem. When really, for me, looking at going back to when I decided that I needed to take alcohol out of the driver's seat of my life, it was looking at whether or not alcohol was adding to my life and making it better, or whether it was taking from my life and causing it to be more challenging, which ultimately asking myself that question really was what helped me to decide that, yeah, maybe alcohol was taking away from my life. It was making it harder to be a parent. It was making it harder to find joy. It was making it harder to experience my emotions. It was numbing me. And so the asking myself if I fit into a label or a category of alcoholic or problem drinker allowed me to avoid really taking a good, honest look at the role that I was allowing alcohol to play in my life.